So BCS season is upon us, and Barrel actually got a little bit of semblance of some love with his new ride line being included in the brand new FR pack that they're giving out at BCS. I managed to get myself the grade 2 thanks to someone that I know that managed to actually go to the event and pull it, and I was able to get my hands on it. And I figured that throughout this season, that's how that's going to go, where people are going to pull these Barrel promos or these Barrel ride line cards, realize that it's for Barrel, not want it, remember the one Barrel player they know, and throw it at me, right? And I thought that'd be kind of cool, but then I remembered also that this promo distribution freaking sucks, and it makes me so aggravated when I think about it. So let's talk about it. Also, since you guys seemed to like that last time, here's my dog walking around in the background while I yap at you. And no, I don't use a shock collar on my dog. Why would I even do that? Why would anyone even do that? You'd have to be some kind of monster to even consider that. So I know the English release is usually shafted when it comes to promo in general, right? I know that's kind of like the MO when it comes to the English release. And this, what I'm complaining about this time is a little bit different because it's not the usual promos that you get. I'm not talking about tournament promos. I'm not even talking about like You've Quick promos. I'm not even talking about magazine promos, none of that. These are technically reprints. And these are common cards that are released in main sets most times and are reprinted in a higher rarity, right? So technically they have no impact on the actual ability to play the game because you can just get the common versions. They're a cent each. Putting that out there, I totally understand that. That being said, we have so many of these that have been given out in Japan for so many years, and we only just now in English started to catch up on these, right? They started to give these out for the global Bushiroad Global Store, where if you paid $20 or more, you would get a promo pack. I don't know if it was like for every, I think it was for every $20 you get a promo pack, right? This promo pack had 34 different cards in the set list. And as you know, when it comes to Bushiroad, when you get a promo pack, it's a single card you get from this, so you have a 1 in 34th chance to get what you want, or roughly 3%, which isn't really very high, I'm being honest with you, but fine. My problem with this distribution is that it's just not good enough to distribute. Right, just not a good distribution. Because first of all, you have to spend $20, then you have to pay shipping to get the thing shipped to you. Since it's from the global store, shipping is kind of high. Then, because of the era that we're in, you probably have to pay tariffs on that now, but this happened in the past before tariffs were actually affecting everything in your life. Then there's also the fact that I think most things on the store are not exactly $20, so you probably have to spend a little bit more to get that. So let's say after everything, you spend maybe $45 to get whatever miscellaneous product just so you can get your promo pack. Once you get your promo pack, you still only have a 1 in 34th chance to pull what you actually want. And the problem with this is that in order to get these promo packs, you have to spend a bunch of money, which means that the starting price for this on the secondary market is going to be very high to begin with, right? Which sucks. Again, I get it. These are just high rarity cards. It doesn't really matter. The secondary market kind of thriving is kind of good to the game in some weird economical way, blah, 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 blah. But there just aren't enough of these to go around. And the fact that these cards start out at such a high price really sucks, and like there's just not an easy way to get hold of these. Over time, they've started to continue doing this campaign. The campaign has ended, but the cards are still floating around. They did it at conventions too, so it wasn't just the global store, but not the best way to give out promos when that's the only way to do it, right? I think that's the main thing I also want to harp on. And that's the only way you can get these cards. Then we have BCS season come through. And they've been, so I'm getting a call from Scam Likely. They've been doing similar to what Japan does, where once you go to these regional events, they give you a promo pack. And it's the same promo pack as before, where it's like FR versions of ride lines and maybe some other cards, right? Which is great, because that's a little bit more accessible than having to go to a store, having to go to a convention, spend money or something like that, right? And again, it doesn't really matter, because they don't really affect the gameplay. Unless you're a Chaos player, in which case you needed those Dark States triggers that count as 2 different names, and they're like $200 and you have to pay to get like 2 of them in your deck to actually play the deck optimally. But we're going to pretend Chaos doesn't exist, much like most players and Bushiroad themselves forget Chaos exists, that's the deck. Right, so back to BCS. When you go to these BCSs, what every BCS has done since like, I want to say the last 3 seasons or something like that, 4 seasons, is that when you go, you sign up and you go on your first round of the tournament, they give out promo packs. And again, it's a single card in these promos. And as you can imagine, now the card pool is even greater. So this is actually, I think, 56 promos in this entire promo pack. So you have a 1 in 56 chance to get the card that you want, again, which makes your odds about 2%. So not that much different from the other one, right? You would think, which kind of sucks. But, you know, BCSs are a lot more bigger distribution. There's a lot more that you can, like, distribute that way, right? Except, like, not really. Right, because BCSs in general, like, they're not like that many people. Like, there's a lot of people, but like not enough for this promo distribution to again work. Because let's say an average number for BCS is like 300, just ballpark. Just because I went to BCS Duluth at 1 year, I think it was 2024, and it was like the biggest. No, it was Philly. BCS Philly 2024. It was like the biggest one of the season because it was the very last one. And we made a big deal about it because there was like 700 people there, right? I think it also happened at Duluth, but let's say 700 is a lot for BCS, right? So about half of that is maybe regular, let's just say, right? Let's just say half of that is maybe regular for like most other places. So like 300. So if you have 300 participants in your tournament and you have 300 promo packs that you're giving to each of them that each contain, let's round that down to like 50 cards within the card set. That's roughly, my math could be different. You can figure it out the actual numbers for yourself, but I'm just shooting shit here. That's maybe like 6 copies of each promo, possibly, given out at entire BCS. 6 copies, that is it. And if you have like 10 BCSs in a single area, that's like 60 copies of a promo being distributed. And if you have 3 BCS eras, so you have North America and Latin America, you have Europe and I think it's just Europe. And then you have Asia, Oceanica. Let's say they each have 10 BCSs. Then that's 60 plus 60 plus 60, which is 180 copies of that promo being distributed, right? That's like not a lot, when you really think about it, right? Like, there could only be 180 players of that specific deck in the world. Outside of Japan is basically what that number tells you. But speaking of Japan, right, I always thought that the way they did BCS in the promo distribution was kind of like a copy and paste from what they do in Japan, considering that's kind of like Bushi's MO, right? They do stuff in Japan, they're like, hey, this kind of works, and they just copy it for the entire rest of the world, right, and expect it to work out, not putting into account population density, the culture being different, the fact that one single island and country does not compare to the entire rest of the world, right? They need specific care. You can't just copy and paste stuff, but so I took a look, right? I did some research into what it was like to play at a BCS in Japan. And specifically what we wanted to know is how many promo packs you can get, specifically for the FR packs that you can get at a BCS or a regional event or a WGP, whatever you want to call them, in Japan. Let's start here in the English side. So the most recent BCS Vietnam that just passed as of recording this, I think this weekend is like Pasadena. It's taking me so long to record this, but in Vietnam, you want to guess how many chances you had to get this FR promo pack? We'll call it's the Deluxe FR Promo Pack 2025 Volume 1. That's what they're giving out for this BCS season. Any guesses? 1. You get a single pack, right? Because I believe there was no day 2 in Vietnam. If there was in premium. So you have a single chance to get this promo pack. And that's it. They have side events at these events, but even if you compete in those, you get a completely different promo. So if you want specifically the FR promo pack, you have a single chance at that one event to get it. Then, like I said, in that entire region, there are other BCSs, right? So within that region, there are other BCSs that you can attend if you are able to do so. And I think, as I look at my phone for my notes, that I didn't memorize because it's a lot of numbers, and I want to make sure I get this right. If you go to the Asia Oceanica region, there are 6 countries there, and there's a total of 8 different BCSs for a total of 13 chances for you to get a promo, counting events that have day 2 where you can play premium and get the same promo pack. So if you went to every single country and region, every single country in that region and participated in their BCS, and did everything you can, you maximize your time, you get a single promo pack for each of those. You get 13 promo packs, which cost you, of course, $1 bajillion for you traveling all over the place, but who knows, right? Maybe cheaper. Maybe it's a lot cheaper. Whereas, like, in Japan, recently, in their 2025 WGP Season 2, in Kyoto, they had an event. For them, they're doing the Deluxe PRFR promo pack, 2025 Volume 2, so it's the one that we're probably getting for BSO. And it's about the same. That one has 53 cards, this one has 56. They're different cards, but it's about the same. How many chances do you think someone in Japan has to get this specific promo pack, right? Think a number in your head. As I look at how long this video has been, think a number in your head. Got it? Okay, let's go through it. So, first, at this specific event, per the Bushi website online that we translated using Google Lens, you get a single promo pack at the entrance. So I think this means at the entrance of the venue. So instead of getting that bag that they give you for last year's BCS, you get a promo pack inside of that. Then if you make it to the 6th round of the events, you get another promo pack. Then because they have day 1 and day 2 events, if you make it and qualify to day 2, you get yet another promo pack at the start of day 2. So that's 3 packs if you do really well. If you do really well in English, you don't actually get any extra promo packs. Maybe you do, but the website doesn't say that. And I'm a bad player, so I don't know, because I've never topped. But the thing that gets interesting is that in addition to that, they have many other ways for you to get these promo packs. So first, they have a campaign at their, I believe it's their specific store, where if you spend 2,000 yen or more, you get a promo pack, right? Or it's probably for every 2,000 yen you spend, you get a promo pack, which is about $13 USD. Same promo pack, right? That's the specific thing I want to point out. It's the same promo pack, right, that you get for entering the tournament. Then they also have side events, 2 different side events. They have one which is like an 8-man tournament, which is basically the same to the free fight that we do, but it's like an actual in pods, right? And it says for like every 3 stamps that you get from this tournament, you get a promo pack. I'm assuming that's for every 3 wins or something like that. But then since it's an 8-man tournament, if you win the entire tournament, you get a promo pack. And there's also a Deer Days event that you can compete in, and either, I don't know if it's like a competitive event or if you just play or whatever, but if you do that, you get another chance at again this same exact promo. So you can, in Japan, Kyoto, if you're a bad player like me, if I were to fly out, bring my Barrel Magus deck, somehow be Japanese, I play round 1, round 2, lose, drop, I got 1 promo for participating. I go and I spend 2,000 yen to get a second promo. Then I can play either Deer Days and or the 8-man tournament to get 2 more promos minimum. That is about 1/3 of what you can get in the entire region of Asia Oceanica. And then if you think of like a bigger region, right? If you think of the US, right? If you went to every single event there, how many promo packs do you think you could get if you went to every single English event, counting day 1 and day 2? You actually get a little more than in the Asia Oceanica region, because there actually is only a total 19 packs that you can get. With, of course, it being the US, so you have to travel to each of them. Each visit, each BCS being like somewhere to $100 or $400, even more, right? You only get 19. Whereas like you go to one event in Japan, get minimum 3, right? You can probably get 5 in a day. And granted, Japan's tournament structure changes every single year, right? Last year, they gave out the same promo pack that we did in the WGP 2024, and theirs was a little bit different that time. This time is a little bit different. Again, they change it like every single season. That time, you got 1 participation promo for entering the venue, I'm assuming. Then you got another one for actually participating in the event. And then you can get another one from the 8-man tournament. So still way more than what we're getting now. Going back to what I was saying before, I don't think that's right. I don't feel like that's a good distribution for these promos, because the only people that are benefiting from this really is not the players. It's maybe the 1 or 2 players that get the card they want, the 1 or 2 players that don't get the card they want, but it's either a really good pull so they can sell on TCG player, or it's a really good pull and they could trade it for what they want. And then TCG player, who gets a cut on all the sales on their site. And that's it. Those are the only people that benefit from this promo distribution. It doesn't seem like that's working out, because you as a company, you're losing money on this, if anything, right? Other people are making money on this. You're not getting anything. You're just printing this shit out and then just giving it away. I'm not saying I want to pay for shit, right? I'm very anti-paying for shit. But from a business sense, I feel like you can make more do with this, right? Like, I feel like you can do more with these promos. I don't know, give them out to shops, which I believe they do in Japan. Give these out to shops, right? Local game stores, because they can't get access to these promos. As far as I know, you're not giving them these promos, and the only way they get it is if they compete in a tournament and get one promo pack to then sell, right? Maybe give these out more for events. Maybe distribute them more. Maybe do them as box offers. I know how much you hate doing that. I feel like they could do a lot more for something so simple that doesn't really affect the game, and it kind of bothers me and aggravates me that they don't. And again, this is coming from someone that plays bad decks notoriously, so it's pretty easy for me to get it, but it still bothers me. I can't even imagine what it's like to play a good deck and to try and get the promo that you want.